Can you hear me? Okay, so that's yeah. I'm not talking because it's not totally fixed yet. I do appreciate the feedback. Okay. We're just going to have to go with that. And can you hear me now? Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to restart this. So stand by. 3, 2, 1. Ball Week, Grotto Week, Nitty Bog. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our weekly Transformers Earth Wars news stream. Finally getting going here, I hope, after almost 10 minutes of technical difficulties. And what's so messed up is I'm even having technical difficulties with my technical difficulties button, so I couldn't even throw that up while we're doing that. So it goes up, but then I can't turn it off without doing a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, let's move on. And hello to everybody who's in the chat and has been so patient. I love all you guys. Robert C4 Alpha Tryon, Melvin Hartzell, Super VH, Alpha Phil, Wolfman, Evan Garcia, Razor Quake, PV Chew, Venger Prime, Sheila Rogers, Stan Tarvin, Gen 1 Red Alert, and so many of you out there. Some of you guys are, I think you might be your first time here. If so, welcome. A lot of you guys are returning, and welcome back. And anybody who's watching the replay, welcome to you as well, and thank you for watching. Let me clear off my screen a little bit. Okay, so moving on, we're here to talk about the news that came out yesterday and about the event that's coming up. And, I didn't actually have time to get the pictures from the stream earlier today, but we'll still talk about it. Some pretty cool toys were revealed, and we're actually going to talk about those. We do that every so often after we get done with the Earth Wars stuff. And we got some crystals to crack too. I think we'll probably do the crystals before we get to the toy news and all of that. But yeah, so it's actually kind of weird for me because the way I got my voice back is I had to turn the music off. So these are just for show because you're used to it. Because I'm kind of used to having them on, but there's no music, so it's weird, or sound, so it's weird. Better word for me than for all of you guys. All right, so let's enough of complaining about the difficulties. Let's move on. Press that button. Does that work? This weekend's event is called Crowning Achievement, except it is kind of working, except we're lagging. Oh, okay, so I think we're back. Oh, it's one thing after another. Oh man. This weekend's event is called Crowning Achievement. Yeah. So sometimes they supply us with the with a nice image that we can makes it easy for a thumbnail. But sometimes got to come up with things on my own. So I was like, hey, Grimlock's got a crown, Starscream has a crown. So we went with that. And yeah, I thought it was clever. I hope you guys liked it. So all right. Moving on. Moving on. Oh my goodness. One thing after another. I tell you, when it rains, it pours, right? Take part in this weekend's event to win up to 5,250 Prime Core Shards, 35 Crown Chests, 315,000 Spark, and a whole bunch of 4-star, 3-star, and premium shards. You can see the numbers on the screen. Oh, here we go. Okay, the button's still working. All right, this is an individual event. Interestingly, in the Discord, they actually kind of put it to a vote. Gave the folks in the Discord a option. Do we want to do a large individual event or kind of a smaller individual event or an alliance event? And there were a lot of votes for all three options, but the large individual event, which is what we've got here, won out. So it's good. And starts the usual Friday start time as the usual Monday stop time. There are 35 prestiges and a super XP throughout the event. Got to be headquarters level 4. Hit the yellow event button, pick your zone, win the battle, collect your points, collect your prizes. Event battle zones are the standard battle zones and 1,000 points per prestige, so 35,000 points total for an individual event. There's a lot of people out there who can do it. Not everybody's going to, but you know what? Get as far as you can, collect the prizes that you can. And there's still plenty of good stuff out there to be had. These crowned chests give you the an equal opportunity to get that 500,000 XP item, 5-star shards, 5-star combat shards, G metal, power core, some additional prime core shards, or some combiner spark. So that's what you'll get in each of those. So you can get up to 35 of those chests. So one per prestige. So next up, we also were revealed about the next combat bots that are going to be coming in this saga, and it is Kunai. Actually, the toy is called Wheeljack Kunai because it does look exactly like Transformers Prime Wheeljack, and that's intentional. That's what the little toy looks like. And the Decepticon gets Beedo, who is like a beetle. And it's actually an Arms Micron version of Shockwave's gun. See, in Japan, Fall of Cybertron Shockwave, as we know from here in the U.S., they didn't get that over there. So they released him as part of the Transformers Prime line, which was also doing the Arms Micron. So his gun was this little Arms Micron dude. And that's what this little Kunai character is as well. So, as far for I like to show off the toys. I don't have these, but I do have something as close as possible. I have Wheeljack, and I have the Fall of Cybertron Shockwaves, and this is his gun. So this is basically what the gun mode for Beedo will look like. But this one doesn't transform. That's just his gun. And Wheeljack, of course, is here. His weapon form is a sword, like a dagger or something like that, which I suppose is kind of makes sense because this version of Wheeljack is kind of like a samurai. He has these swords and is very adept at using them. And there's no word on what their ability is going to be yet, which is pretty typical. We find out who they are, then we get a bio, and then we learn about their abilities. And we were talking about it in Discord. It's like, how are they going to make a dagger and a blaster have the same kind of combat effect? And it got me thinking, because I did look up, and there's like apparently some kind of an Arms Micron game or whatever. And the one for Wheeljack, it had the Kunai has a special effect that is Cure. And it got me thinking, hey, maybe something healing. And in the game, Wheeljack and Shockwave are both medics. So my guess is this might be our second medic-specific combat bot. Just a theory, no inside information whatsoever, just a guess. So I'm calling it now, or at least that's my prediction. It can be proven right or wrong, but I'm saying these are probably going to be medic combat bots. And it does kind of makes sense that they can be, just like, that's kind of how you can resolve a blaster and a dagger. We are kind of due for another one because right now all we've got is Rung and Shroot, which is just one for each side. We're kind of due for a second medic focused combat bot. So I'm thinking that might be the case for these guys. Anyway, that's theory. Let's move on to see what else is Up. Yeah, so here is the actual toy. I pulled these off of tfwiki.net. If you haven't been there, that is like the encyclopedia of Transformers knowledge. And so that is the actual Arms Micron toy of the Wheeljack Kunai. So you can kind of see what it is. So again, as usual, they nailed it in the game. And there is the Bido or Bido that he turns into like a rhinoceros beetle, very similar to Bombshell, but then also turns into the little gun for Shockwave. And that brings us to the community corner time. Let's see how this works. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's working. So we've got I'm still just thrown off from all the difficulties before, so bear with me. Okay, we're starting off with Razor Quake 46 as we tend to do. And you can see he's excited as usual. Always yelling on the internet with his all caps. So he's starting off. He creates these in Forza Horizon 5 or something like that. And so we got punch and counter punch here, so that's pretty cool. And coming up next, we've got a version of Searchlight and Roll Bar. So as you can see, we're doing a Throttlebot thing here. And we've got Chase and Freeway, Goldbug, the way he's supposed to look, is a beetle. Is Goldbug, right? And so now we've got Crasher. Very cool. Just came out in the Legacy Velocitron line. And he was lamenting about not having a dump truck. And I pointed out that Toy World did a version of the Throttlebots that basically used this kind of a military-style SUV for wide load. So he went ahead and says it had to go bump back to Horizon 4 for that since he didn't have the vehicle in 5. And so there is wide load. So very, very cool. Next up, we've got G1 Wheeljack. Excellent job with these paint schemes. No idea how you even do that. And we've got Cybertronian Sideswipe. And this is why I had to go and talk about the recent toy news, because he decided to create some characters based on that news, including Toxitron and G2 Jazz. Apparently, this is like an unreleased version of G2 Jazz, because the one that actually did get released during G2 was still really kind of the white version with just some additional stickers. But apparently, there was an unreleased version, as my understanding, that was this red and orange color. Some calling him Dorito Dust Jazz. So. The interesting thing is, though, and we have seen listings, though no pictures, for a Mirage. And if they're doing unreleased versions, it's possible we might be seeing a Legacy Watermelon Mirage. So, yeah. And Pipichu has been working on a Fort Max, unfortunately. He also is having some technical difficulties and wasn't able to get it completed. It's fine. We'll be seeing that hopefully next week. But we did manage to get the new combat bots in here in Kunai and Bido. Now, finally, I think, unless somebody slipped in at the end, we're finishing up with Grand Galvatron doing her needlepoint. And this looks to me like Springer. And that's a fantastic start there. Looking forward to seeing that. Got better things to do tonight than die. you got to you got to have any when Springer comes up, you got to say that quote, kind of like when Ultra Magnus comes up, you got to joke about how he can't deal with it right now. Yeah, so very very cool. Thank you all for your contributions. Really do enjoy seeing them all every week. Truly. So that is it for the news. There were some other things. That's not quite it. Let's talk about what the what they were covering. Since I have this, hang on. We're gonna lose the music for a minute, but I just want to go ahead and talk about this. Should have done this in the. Should have done this ahead of time, but I forgot because I was dealing with things and stuff. And all right, I think we can do it now. Okay, here we go. So there we go. I grabbed some screenshots from the stream. I didn't manage to see the whole stream. I kind of scrolled through it to see the kind of what might be new or whatever, and caught this. Got a little bit of the description there. They did hint at this a couple of streams ago about an alliance base. And so they showed off both the Decepticon and the Autobot version of the Alliance base. They didn't mention anything specific other than that there would be additional roles in the Alliance and that there may be perks for the players who take on those roles. And I do believe that there will be additional benefits to having these bases that you can level up things based on how well the Alliance does and possibly earn rewards for the Alliance. So they said they're getting pretty close to finishing, but they're not ready to reveal anything because some things are still being worked out. I haven't seen this in the play testing just yet, but I think it looks pretty cool. Kind of looks like Camino from Star Wars, where they did all the cloning, if anybody's knows that. So again, especially the Decepticon one, because when they showed it live, it was actually kind of, the sea is choppy and it's kind of rainy, and I was like, oh man, that's like Camino right there. But it's all sunshine and fair seas for the Autobots over here. So see, Grant Galvatron is saying, remember this from concept art years ago? Yeah, I do remember seeing. In fact, I believe it might have even been in the pre-release beta version of the game where they had some kind of an alliance base, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't working out, and they removed it by the time they got to global launch. And now it's kind of coming back here. Robert says, hoping this isn't cosmetic. Well, from what they're saying, it's not. I mean, there's supposed to be things that you can tap on, like each of the different little pods, I believe, is going to be something that you'll be able to tap on. And maybe it'll be a way that you can access different things like, your Alliance members. But I believe there's actually going to be tasks and things like that going on as well. So yeah, it's another base that the entire Alliance can play a part, I believe. Yeah, so it's not just something cosmetic; it's something that the that you and your Alliance can work together to build up as a team. So we'll move on from that. Let's get back over to the game now and get the music back. You'll have to let me know because remember, nothing going on in here. Pointing to the speakers, not my head. There's plenty of stuff going on in there, too much sometimes. So we're back onto the game. I hope the sound's back. Yeah, so there's There we go. They are also working on the second part of the headquarters 18 update because remember we only got a portion of the bases upgradable. So we're working on balancing. I say we, but they really because I'm not really helping. Working the rest of the buildings to be upgradable, plus also balancing some of the new G1 cores and ability 11s, I believe, for like blades. And I don't even remember the other one. I'm just concerned about blades because that's the one I want. Oh, I suppose if I'm going to talk about it, I should just put it in the slide, right? Okay, you guys hear the game. Okay, great. All right. Well, let's see. We're already in the game, but let me see if this button works. It should throw that up there. Yeah, let's do some crystal cracking now. All right. Now because I've been if you've watched the last couple of streams, you know I've been mentioning somewhat complaining that I don't have any top spin. So I did actually go in. It's been a while since I did it. I did go buy a top spin bundle. So I've got 80 top spin crystals, and so hopefully, I'm positive we'll get at least the 2-star. Hopefully, we'll find the 3 and the 4-star as well. But if not, hey, at least if I get the 2-star, it'll give me that option to go and get the character specific bundle once they're released. In the meantime, do have a bunch of these power cord chips. We got a bunch of those combiner crystals that we got from last weekend's event, and some. What are these? Oh yeah, these are the dispatch mission chests. They just finished right before the stream. Top Spin is obsessed. Oh no, not at all. But Top Spin is a requirement for the new combiner coming, which clearly is the Wreckers. Something else I caught in there, I don't know if they've officially revealed it and I missed it or whatever, or if this was kind of a slip up. But they said they were working on the finishing touches for God Neptune, and they did say Ruination. So, I mean, we all kind of figured it was that already, but it's basically confirmed that the Autobot Wrecker Combiner is going to be Ruination. And we got a G Metal Skyburst. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that. I might have one already. And it is interesting because we're kind of wondering who is going to be in Ruination. And I caught Giannis saying that once we release the last piece for God Neptune, not the last piece for both of them. He just said the last piece for God Neptune. We knew there is a Seacon still yet to come. But the way that he said that makes me think all of the Wreckers are already in the game, which makes me think Impactor is going to be in there. I mentioned it before, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the version of Ruination that we got in the Fall of Cybertron toy line, with Impactor as a torso, Roadbuster, Top Spin, Whirl, and Twin Twist as the limbs. So that's what I think. I mean, Top Spin, Twin Twist, Whirl, and Roadbuster are all very brand new records. Those are definitely going to be in there. Pretty sure it's going to be Impactor also as part of that combiner. Which is kind of weird because he's kind of a two-way bot because he's on both Autobots and Decepticons, but whatever. Okay, so there's the Rust Renegades. We got a couple of 3-stars. These are all going to be dupes anyway, but might as well get the character shards so I can rank them up, right? And got a couple of 3-stars. Dinobots. And these are the Optimus Maximus ones. Okay, so yeah, we got some 3-stars there too. Nothing really to write home about in the form of power cores. Yeah, finally the aerial bots. And that's as far as we got. We didn't manage to get any of the other combiners that were a little bit later in the event. So there you go. We've got a few other chips and whatnot to do. Trithylium plating. That's right. It's trithylium. A lot of people saying trilithium. That's a Star Trek thing. It's not trilithium. It's trithylium. I thought it was trilithium at first too, but then I actually looked at the letters in the word. Low down photon. Lot of sludges. Remember when sludge was named Slog? Yeah, that was right about the same time that Swoop was named Strafe. That was a trademark deal. But Slug is never going to go back to Slag because that's not a trademark deal. And yeah, I agree, Grand Galvatron. If Impactor does end up as the torso, it would be weird because that Impactor in the game is based off of the Transformers Collector Club release of Impactor, who was modeled after Rook, who is a leg or arm. So he is actually a combiner in that form, but he's a leg or arm, not a torso. But you know, as we've seen, they can do whatever they want in there because, like the sorry, but Galvatronus is got Blitzwing and Astro Train and Acid Storm, and those guys are not even close to being combiners. And who was the other one in there? Mind Wipe. The only one in Galvatronus that's actually a combiner from Combiner Wars is Cyclonus. All the others, they just made something up to make it work. So they could do the same thing with Impactor. Or maybe they'll make him a leg. You know, he can still be the leader of the team and be a leg. I mean, Scrapper was the de facto leader of the Constructicons, and he was a leg, right? And so, as expected, it's total dupe city for the whatchamacallit, combat bots. You know, it's weird. It's weird not having the sound in here, but this is kind of how I normally play the game anyway. I usually play the game on silent, so it's playing the game is not too weird. It's more like just being on the stream and being silent. It's a little different. All right, so let's open these premium crystals, see if we can get anything fun from there. Hey, there's Impact. You must have heard us talking about him. Yeah, in fact, he showed up twice. Anything cool? No. There's Perceptor, the only 3-star that we got out of that little round. We did get a gold Ray Blocker score. Interesting. And after Cup, we did find a 3-star Sludge and Whirl. So there we go. So that's it. Let's open up these G1 cores, right? Because I mean that'll drop even if we hadn't got top spin yet, right? Now they're not guaranteed to be top spins, or are they? I think they might be. So there's the silver. They had to give us 8. Why couldn't they have just made it 10? I mean, come on, just 2 more so we could hit that 10 button. But now we got to do it all one by one. All right. All right. So what are you guys saying about here? Scrapper thought he was a crotch. No, that was long haul. Yeah, I see that you're saying long haul is the crotch. Yeah. Hook is the upper torso. Long haul is the lower torso, and we did get a gold G1. Cool. Scavenger is the right arm. Bone Crusher left arm. Scrapper right leg, and Mixmaster left. Pretty cool that we got at least got a gold. Hopefully that means that's a hint that maybe we'll get a 4-star top spin out of these crystals. Oh, looks like we got another gold at least. Very cool. Hopefully we get a 4-star to go along with it. And here we go. Let's go ahead and crack them. I will go ahead and skip. All right, so we did get a 2-star. And I was wondering if it would actually stop and show this screen for you. Some of you guys said, oh, yeah, it does. Go ahead and skip it. But apparently, when you do top spin, just decides to fly off the screen and says he's camera shy or something. So, yeah, but it's a 2-star there. Oh, and a 3-star even, straight out of the gate. And there he goes. Is he actually going to land? No, he just kind of floats off the screen again, too. So there's my cool picture of 3-star top spin. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's unbelievable. This is the first 10. This is the first. This is the first 10 of the. Oh my goodness! They got them right in a row. 2, 3, 4. That's worth a screenshot there. Holy moly! That's amazing. Still not quite as good as Elita 1. I got the 4-star on like the 3rd crystal or something like that. So, but still, that was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, it was all in a row. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. But 2, 3, 4, right in a row. That's crazy. Oh, might as well go ahead and crack through the rest of them because it is dropping the other bots. And so we could still be getting, power cores from Top Spin. We might even, would it be insane to hope for 4-star Cybertron Jetfire out of this? That might be a little much to hope for. That would be so truly magical if that happened. All right, I forgot to look. So we're getting some lot of silver G1 topspin cores, which we've got those convert and upgrade options now. So let's take all these silvers and turn them into golds, and then maybe we could take some golds and turn them into a G metal, huh? That would be something. That'd be a lot of silver cores because you got to have if you want to do it for the specific one, you got to have 10 of that same core to turn it into a gold, and then you'd have to have 10 gold. So you have to have like 100 3-star of something to ultimately turn into a single G metal. I mean, that makes sense. I mean that G metal is a powerful thing, so I could see it'd be worth 100 silvers. And we got a nice gold volatile mixture there. I'll take that. And here we go. Doesn't look like we're getting any other 4-stars, so we just got really lucky on that first batch. Hey, there's Nose Cone, everybody's favorite. There's a lot of 3-stars on that one. 3-star dupes. And there we go. So the only 4-star we got was that from that first batch of first 10. Wow. Oh, I'm just looking at this now, and Razor Clay's got to go rub something in. He's got 4-star Cybertron Jetfire already. Oh yeah. You're lucky I'm nice because I got plenty of other stuff. to turn around on you. Oh, look, we got a story. I forget because remember, this is my first time getting a top spin. Here's Twin Twist. I'd say what we have here is a full strength Wreckers lineup. For sure. The addition of top spin rounds out our pack of aces. Thanks, Broadside. Always good to be back in the mix. There's challenges and there's Wrecker challenges. Ha! Still looking for that ultimate sidrenalin rush, top spin? What is it you say when asked why you put yourself through one arduous struggle after another? Because it's there, Twin Twist. Because it's there. Right, with your amphibious hover mode, you can skip right over most obstacles. But no, you have to prove you got whatever it takes by pitting yourself body and spark against that obstacle. Thing is, Whirl, the thrill is in the journey, not the destination. And what gets my fuel distributor pumping is that sanity-defying lunge into the unknown. Good thing as jump starters, we can both react in a nanosecond to whatever comes our way. Boom, hover mode. Bam, robot mode. Anyway, pretty sure you'll get your fix of challenges now that you're in the Earth Wars arena. Combiners, Titans, Heralds of Primus, Predacons, Alternate Universe Megatrons, we got the lot. Can't wait to get stuck in, Sandstorm. I got a feeling this is going to be the tightest knit unit we've ever been a part of. Are there two top spins walking around? Yeah, probably. That tends to happen when you crack a bunch of crystals like that. Yep, there you go. 3. There's 3 of them. Oh, one's the 2, one's the 3, one's the 4. This guy is... Nope, I hit Air Razor instead, apparently. There's your 4-star. That's a Star Saber. There's your 3-star. They're going to go say hi to each other and then just kind of phase right through each other because one of them's a ghost. That's and the other one, this is going to be your 2-star over here. That only happens if you crack them all in one like little crystal cracking. And as soon as I leave and go do something else and come back, they won't be there. The multiverse is real? That's more curse than the time put 3-star, 4-star, and 2-star sludge on the same squad once. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and there's just shattered glass characters wandering around too. Oh, but see, that's Blaster. He's just wearing a skin. He's just in costume. That's not actually Shattered Glass Blaster. He's just in costume. Although, nope, the Jetfire is not a costume. So that is actually a Shattered Glass character. So, I mean, I get why they put the Shattered Glass Autobots with the Autobots and vice versa, because, you know, that's just how it goes. But it really would have made more sense to put the Shattered Glass Decepticons on the Autobots and vice versa. But then the skins wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't be able to do the skins because then you'd have some of the Shattered Glass Decepticon skins on the Decepticons instead. So I understand why they did it. It would have been pretty cool if we could have had like Shattered Glass Megatron on the Autobots and Shattered Glass Optimus Prime on the Decepticons. That would have been pretty cool, actually. Yeah. All right, so I think that's going to do it for the game. So if you're just here for the game, then appreciate you coming. Have a good evening. We'll see you next time. If you want to find out about and talk about these Transformer toy reveals, came out, was it yesterday, day before? They are actually available today, and let's just go ahead and talk about it. So that takes us back over to this. We'll go ahead and turn off that slideshow, and we'll bring up this slideshow. So these were revealed to be available on like what they call it, Walmart Toy Con or Collector Con or something like that. And they're available on Walmart. They're available on Hasbro Pulse if you're interested. Got some G2. These are kind of like, like the Velocitron series is kind of similar kind of deal, where it's a Walmart and Pulse exclusive. So we've got what's this G2 Cloud cover. Clearly, Ramjet is the only one of the cone heads that they're allowed to repaint because they've done Sandstorm, G2 Ramjet, and now G2 Cloud cover. Meanwhile, we haven't seen even the second Dirge or Thrust. So apparently, these guys are the only one. Ramjet's the only one that's allowed to get recolored. So, and PB218 is saying these are unreleased G2 decos. And yeah, and you'll see a little bit more as we go along. And there's a look at his robot mode. Pretty cool. I did pre-order this guy. I'm not super excited about him because he's kind of just like light blue and white, and he's got a little bit of black or whatever. I put in a pre-order just in case I ultimately end up wanting him. I might cancel it, or maybe I'll just get it and sit on it and sell it a little bit later. I don't know. But I did go ahead and order this guy. He does look kind of cool. He's just, I got to try to find a way to cut back and getting things that I'm not totally excited about. It's not a way of cutting back. It was pretty standard Conehead Seeker from the Earthrise mold or whatever. So he definitely has that posability and everything like that, and he can strut and whatnot. And there's a look at the box. I do kind of dig the box art. Definitely appears to be inspired by another bot on this list. What with the green and the orange and the toxic waste deal there, and they've got some additional promo pictures. And there's the front of the box. It is just kind of like Legacy Evolution packaging. It doesn't say the Velocitron, so I don't think it's that same line, but it's the same kind of thing. So I don't know if it's supposed to have some other kind of overarching theme or whatever, other than just kind of unreleased or things like that. But I love the wild colors. You guys know that I do, and so there's some more. It was interesting that we got this image in here. This is a box, and this is the only image that we got of a G2 Grimlock, yellow with light blue chest and claws, and this is all we get. There were no images of the toy or anything else. We just got this one image. Also, there was no G2 Grimlock for sale. I think this was a mistake, and this was supposed to be the box for the other leader class that we did get a bunch of pictures of. I think Grimlock is actually coming next wave. And this was supposed to be the other guy who we're going to talk about in a minute. But in the meantime, we did at least get a leak of the an upcoming bot. And even though I really don't need another Grimlock, how can you pass up these crazy colors? And yeah, I was thinking the same thing, PB2. It's ironic the Fans Project is just now doing this deco, and then we see Hasbro going and doing it too. I was thinking the exact same thing. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And unfortunately, that's all we get, and we're going to have to wait however long it's going to be until they release the next wave. In the meantime, we get to look forward to G2 Jazz. And some people are calling this guy Dorito Dust Jazz, which I'm personally take offense to, with Jazz being my second favorite Transformer of all time. And I was quite upset when I did that, when I saw that. But I'm not actually upset. I think it's kind of funny and kind of accurate too. But so I think I mentioned it already because we did see a version of the G2 Jazz that Razorquake gave us, and here is a picture of the toy and why Razorquake made that particular thing. And looks pretty cool. I mean, I like it. The crazy colors. It's totally wild, and I'm all about the wild colors. In fact, I have a shelf that is the what I call hideously beautiful because they're so ugly that they're good. The colors are just so wild, and this one totally fits that bill. Yep, and then there he is in that toxic waste package again. If you guys know anything, you can probably tell who the other bot is that's coming. The toxic Tron, Toxitron from the obvious Shoulder Pads Prime, aka Laser Prime, aka Scourge mold. And he looks pretty cool. The green and the purple. Yeah, it's going to be hard to pass this guy up, and it's kind of weird. It's almost Constructicon colors, but when it's Toxitron, you're like you don't think Constructicon, but it's kind of what it is. I would say if there's one criticism, there should be more orange on him to really stand him out from the Constructicons. Because I mean, even on the package, you can see the package is basically his colors, and then there's like orange like sludge. There should be some like orange detail, and I think there might be on the trailer. I don't know if we have a really good image of the trailer, other than like right. Yeah, there we go. So we do see some of that orange on his trailer, which I think is really cool too. But I think the main bot should have had a little bit of orange on him too. So if I had to have any criticism at all, I would put some orange on him. I guarantee Toy Hacks, when they do a set for him, there will be stickers that put the orange sludge on him. Cuddy Fox says maybe he is a secret Constructicon. Yeah, you want to do some headcanon time? He's the you know how Mixmaster's always mixing things up. Well, he's got to put all of his mixtures somewhere, and that's what Toxitron's carrying around. There you go. And just more pictures of Toxitron. And before we move on from there, if you're interested more in the G1 toys colored like as if they were out of the 1986 movie, we've got Autobot Hound here in his cartoon deco. I did go in on the hot rod from this set. I passed on Starscream. I will probably be passing on Hound. But it's cool for anybody who likes this. There's also Thundercracker, which of course there is because we got Starscream. So now there's a Thundercracker. Next wave will probably be Skywarp with someone else. So there we go. If you ever wanted your Thundercracker from G1 to look like he was straight out of the 1986 movie, here's your opportunity. Available for pre-order on Walmart and Hasbro Pulse. And then we're back around to Cloud cover. So, I thought, since we were talking about those guys, well, another look at Wheeljack and Shockwave, who were standing in for the combat bots that I don't have. So we're talking about Toxitron, right? Well, I happen to have a Toxitron. as you might expect. This is from the Transformers Collectors Club. This was one of the figure subscription services. He is a repaint, redeco, in fact, a remold. He's got a new head of, I want to say, actually Menasor, not just Optimus Prime. This is the Menasor version of him. And you can see what I'm talking about. He's got the green, he's got the purple, but he's also got red. It's also kind of like he's supposed to be like a corrupted version of Optimus Prime, and that's why it's kind of like an Autobot. And so there you go. And he is actually the torso of the Combiner Wreckage. So it kind of fits in. So this has actually got the Optimus Prime head, but if I remember, this was actually like the Menasor truck with the Optimus Prime head in there, and it doesn't quite fit or something like that. But anyway, so there's Toxitron. He's actually a combiner in this version, and yeah, so there you go. But I've got a Toxitron already, but I'll probably get another one. Now, this guy is not exactly Jazz, but he is orange, and he does use a Jazz mold. This is Stepper. I got him in one of the BotCon box sets, picked up for a huge discount when they were closing down the Collector Club. I think I got it for like 80% off. I got the set. This was from the Cybertron's Most Wanted. This is Stepper, and as you can see, he's a shattered glass bot, and so this is the Special Ops Jazz mold. He's orange, not quite as orange as old G2 Jazz, old Dorito Jazz over there. We could just call him that. Dorito Jazz makes sense, So we got Watermelon Mirage, who's probably coming the next wave of Grimlock. So might as well pair him with Dorito Jazz. Be like a summertime picnic with Doritos and watermelon. But that's my stand-in for Dorito Jazz. That's the Shattered Glass Stepper from the Cybertron's Most Wanted BotCon box set. And talking about like really crazy colors, we'll go ahead and start with this guy because I always like having an excuse to bring him out. Shattered Glass Thundercracker. And because, obviously I painted him, so I'm very proud of that. And I still think he looks great. You don't get a whole lot crazier than that guy there. And he definitely, it's funny because he hasn't made it up to my hideously beautiful shelf yet. He's been displayed a little bit more prominently and kind of been bouncing around just because I don't want to kind of set him up on the shelf just yet. But here's a couple of guys who did come off of that. We've got Thrustinator, who was from, again, the Transformer Collector Club. He was a subscription series. This is an original Beast Wars mold that they redid. It's kind of like a corrupted Waspinator from, I want to say, Beast Machines or something. But, that's right in my Transformers Dark Ages where I haven't seen the shows and don't have a lot of knowledge about it. But the way the subscription series work up is there's like 5 figures that plus there's like an extra one that you don't know until the end. You basically sign up to get the whole series. And so I signed up to get the whole series. And so you get them all, whatever you're going to get anyway. And I didn't know who this guy was, but I think he looked awesome. So even though I may not have wanted everybody in that series, he was one of the ones that I was definitely interested in getting. Because it's a mold that I didn't have before and still is the only one that I have like that. And so I was, it's pretty cool. And he's been out there on my hideously beautiful shelf since I've got him, or at least since I established that shelf. And you can see why he is like the poster child for hideously beautiful. Right along with this guy, yet another Transformers Collector Club subscription series figure. This is Circuit. This one I actually did not subscribe to. It was the first one, and I didn't do it, so I actually picked them up for an elevated price after market. But I had to have him. This, if you know, was a recolor of the Axor mold from the Revenge of the Fallen toy line, who was, or it might have been the Generations line that came afterwards, which was a remold of the Lockdown from the Revenge of the Fallen line. And but it's the same figure. It's just a straight up recolor, and oh boy, did they recolor it! He's got uh, orange. He's got blue. He's got magenta. He's got yellow. He's even got the silver. He's got turquoise windows. He's got magenta stripes on his back, and oh my goodness, it is glorious how gaudy and terrible the colors are on it, and I love it to death. So yeah, so these three guys are part of my hideously beautiful collection, which is kind of where I want to be getting the Dorito Jazz and my Watermelon Mirage. Speaking of which, hang on, he's right back over here. I meant to grab him before I came and sat down. So this is actually a third-party figure I got at TFCon a while back. This is Ocular Max Sphinx, and this is the Watermelon Mirage we're talking about. And so he was based on an unreleased G2 coloring of Mirage, and seeing as how we're getting an unreleased G2 coloring of Jazz. We did see, or the cyber sleuths who look into the listings in the stores lines have spotted a G2 Mirage listed, and those people are usually right about what's coming. We got no pictures or anything like that, but I think we're going to be seeing a Hasbro version of Watermelon Mirage, and I will 100% get that because it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, as soon as I saw this guy was revealed as a TFCon exclusive, I'm like, I have to have that, and I do. And even though I may have put some of the other TFCon exclusives away to save some space or whatever, this guy has stayed out, and he will stay out because I love it. I don't know why. I don't wear crazy colors. I don't present a whole lot of things as crazy colors in my life. That the normal house and everything is not crazy colors. The car is almost black. And, my office at work is got like almost no decorations on, which I get comments on everything. It's like, oh, you need to put some decorations up in here. But I love wild colors on my Transformers. I'll tell you. Yeah, I love it. Constructicons have that color scheme. Nobody says where when Mirage has it, it's called a watermelon. No, not exactly. It may not be coming across on the screen, but this is pink. This is as pink as you'll ever get. Constructicons are purple. They are a lime green and purple. It's not even a lime green. This is more lime green. This is more highlighter green and highlighter pink. This is way beyond anything the Constructicons have ever been. But that's a good point. The Constructicons are a little kind of on the crazy color side. And now that I think about it, the other combiner team with a pretty unified color scheme, other than the Predacons, the Rust Renegades, it's kind of wild colors, the teal and kind of a orange red color. I wouldn't quite put them on my hideously beautiful shelf, but they're close. You know who is on my hideously beautiful shelf? I didn't bring them over here. The G1 Piranacon. They got some wild colors. Even the Combiner Wars, or I guess Generation Selects, or whatever Takara that's what they were, Takara toys, so whatever they call on them. The Seacons, the original ones, not the ones we're getting in the game with the pink and the teal and all that. That's some crazy colors. They're on the hideously beautiful shelf. And so yeah, I am totally on board for whatever wild and wacky colors they want to bring out from G2. I'm totally on board for that. And Razorquake is saying G2 Menasor has those awesome colors. Yeah, I didn't get the shadow strip because it's just black and like, oh man, I don't need to be doing G2 Menasor. And if they'd have probably come out with Breakdown first, where he's got some wild colors for sure, they'd have probably got me if I'd have done Breakdown first. But Shadow Strip, Drag Strip in black. I do have the Combiner Wars G2 Menasor. And I was just going through I'm still going through all my bins, trying to sort them out and put instructions with them. And I came across those G2 Stunticons. And I'm like, oh, man, I really don't need these. And the Stunticons are like the worst combiner, but purple Motor Master, and the colors are just cool. And the hands and the feet are like turquoise, and it's so cool. And the fact that they've got Drag Strip in black, and I think they're even coming out soon. I think they saw in the listings that there's going to be Dead End in G2 colors and all that, which means we're going to be working towards a G2 Legacy Menasor. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, we'll see. Oh, that's right, Riddler. You went to that toy show. Yeah, I couldn't make it. I had other things come up. Only picked up 2 Transformers, G1 Mirage, so you could do the toy Polloi fix. I'm not familiar with that. As well as Transform Element Nemesis Prime. Okay, cool. G2 Mirage is black and yellow in Combiner Wars. Right. And I think that was the original G2 Mirage colors, because along with Watermelon Mirage here, they also did that G2 black and yellow colors. And that's the same one we've got in Earth Wars. The Mirage is using the standard G2 colors of Mirage, where he's kind of like black and gold or whatever. So I've put that one away because it's not nearly as impressive. So that's why I'm thinking, since if they're going for the unreleased colors like Dorito Jazz, I think we're going to get Watermelon Mirage. At least that's what I'm hoping. And you know what? If we don't, I still have a Watermelon Mirage, and I'm happy. So Combiner Wars is a goated line. You'll never, ever say otherwise. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to say otherwise. Plenty of other people will say it for you. I thought it was important that it brought back the Scramble City combiners. Definitely was a big improvement over the Power Core combiners, which was basically just a bot with some drones. Huge improvement over the Bruticus from Fall of Cybertron and all that. But overall, I think it was a good line. That's one of the reasons why I think it's been, it endured for time. And in fact, a lot of the characters in the game in Earth Wars are based upon that. But I think it definitely shows its age compared to some of the legacy figures. It did get a little old with the repaints. I think at last count, I have 9 or somewhere around that different versions of the Dead End mold, because it was Dead End first, which is why we call it the Dead End mold. But it was also Prowl and Smokescreen and Blue Streak and Wild Rider and and Lightspeed and Streetwise and so many others. And there was more out there that I didn't even get that ended up being like Collector Club stuff. And so I think that's one of the tough things, is that it was just, I mean, I realized that Hasbro does repaints, remolds, and everything you're looking at here is a repaint or a remold. So I'm not opposed to getting it. I'm just saying sometimes it could be overdone. Siege Sideswipe is another example. There's about 80 versions of Siege Sideswipe. They go by the names of like Tiger Track and Clampdown and G2 Sideswipe and Earth Mode Sideswipe. So yeah, that's it can be overdone, and heck, even who is it? The Gigawatt. The Back to the Future bot is basically a heavily molded Siege Sideswipe. The only thing that helps is Siege Sideswipe is a fantastic transformer. It's excellent mold. So, but at some point, no matter how good something is, it gives you a bellyache when you have too much of it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but some things are meant, like anytime you see a Starscream, you're going to see at least two other versions of it in blue and black and purple. So that's just the way things are. And anybody who complains about repaints in general, like, oh, the fact that it's a repaint or whatever, is kind of totally missed the point of Transformers. I mean, Transformers were all just repaints of Diaclone anyway, and Microman and other toy lines that came from before it. So they're all just recolors from the beginning. So, but there is a limit. You can. I'm not opposed to repaints in general, but it can't get to be a little too much. Oh, shifted from gamer to toy review. Oh yeah, that's how a lot of these streams go. We talk about the games first, and then I usually talk about my toy haul that I happen to get over the week. But it's been pretty dry lately, so sometimes we talk about the. We had some news, so I figured I'd bring out and show some of the toys similar to it. But one of the things I haven't quite figured out is how to advertise this a little bit, because it's always buried in the second half, and it's not in the thumbnail or anything. So I'm still trying to figure out the way of getting to that. But I appreciate the recognition that you saw the shift there. So. Yeah, I think that's enough of them for now. Let's see, what else do we got? Wait, y'all never bought hammers of every color? You had like 40 Siege Starscream repaints. Yeah, and I think I have like all of them except for Siege Shatterglass Starscream. Yeah. So. If you're complaining Legacy Breakdown ain't a Lambo, we have enough Lambos already. Is somebody complaining about it? Because I certainly wasn't. I've heard the complaints, but yeah, whatever. It's fine. I accept that things have to change edition sometime. Wait, are they called? They're called Seekers? I think they were called repaints. Yeah. Didn't get the premium finish. No, that is one thing I did not get. I haven't gotten any of the bots in the premium finish because it's fine. The original figure that came out was fine. If I want to enhance it, I'll slap some toy hacks on it. I'm not going to go buy a whole nother figure at twice the price just for a little bit of extra paint, which I'm not going to appreciate as much as the additional cost is going to set me back. If anybody out there likes the premium finish, I'm happy for you. It just doesn't do anything for me, especially when I already have the bot and maybe even already have Toy Hack stickers on it, giving it a premium finish. So if anybody else wants to, I'm glad they exist for the people who want it, but I'm not one of those people who wants it. But, it's one of those things where if the premium finish was the only one that came out and it was a little more expensive, maybe I'd go for it anyway. But I'm not going to go with my standard one and then pay extra just to get it again with a better paint job. I mean, just like any of the collector club figures that you get, they're basically premium finish figures. They've got extra paint apps than what you would get in the standard toy line, but they also when original price go for about $40 when for a deluxe figure when at the time they were selling for about 15. So it's very exclusive, but it's also more premium deco versus a mainline. So, um, I'm not opposed to premium paint jobs. I just not going to buy a whole figure again just for that. You know. Yeah, no, we're getting a G2 breakdown eventually. Yeah, I know you guys have got me questioning whether I should, the Stunticons again in G2 colors. And, I was trying to avoid it. I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then they had to come out with the Toxitron and Dorito Jazz. And now I'm just like, oh. I was like, nope, I'm not going to get it. 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 And then I pre-ordered it like 10 minutes after it went live. This is what addiction is. Yeah. Yeah. Blue Streak was named Silver Streak and Streak, so I wonder if they did the same what they did with Strafe, making in different bots. Oh, let's not even get these started on the naming convention of Blue Streak. Yeah, so he's Blue Streak in G1, but he's like silver and black, and then so then you get like in Japan they just called him Streak, and then we get Silver Streak, who's just like a super silver car, like in the Masterpiece line, and then we get so we get the blue Streak in like the Siege or Earthrise or something, and he's like that same silver and black like from the toy color, and then they came out with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee. They had the audacity to put on the package that he was Silver Streak, but he was as blue as you could ever be blue on the toy. So that was the one that should 100% be Blue Streak, and they just wanted to mess with us, and they put Silver Streak on the package. Ugh. They're really just trying to mess with people's head, trying to make you think silver is blue and blue is silver. Either that, or they just are colorblind and they don't know what the difference between silver and blue is. So let's just not even talk about Blue Streak and Silver Streak. Okay. Razor Quake got Premium Finish Studio Series, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee, and intend to get them all. Okay, cool. And don't get me wrong, this Premium Finish stuff looks really good. It's just, if I've already got the figure, I'm not buying it again just for a little bit better paint job. That's all I'm saying. Hiding in the bathroom at work, transforming the new bot. Got Tarn and Silver Streak this week. Very cool. Tarn's amazing. Oh, so happy with that Tarn. Very, very good. One of the best figures they've done in a while. And they've done some pretty good ones lately, but Tarn. They so wanted to mess with us though, that naming convention. Yeah. Whether they wanted to or not, they're doing it. Silver Streak was his name for a while because Hasbro lost a trademark. I believe. I definitely get that. They changed the name like Shockwave was Shock Blast for a while. So Swoop had to go by Strafe, Sludge had to go by Slog. Even they couldn't use Hot Rod for a while. That's where Rodimus came from. Well, I guess maybe that came from Rodimus Prime because they did that while it was still being called Hot Rod. But they did have to call him Rodimus. because they couldn't use hot rod. Which, is just like, and I understand some of that stuff is is because oh, well, that's just a common name, you can't do that. It's like, yeah, but you never did it. It's like, oh, we can't use that because it's a common name, so we can't get a trademark on it. But you never changed Jazz. You just called him Autobot Jazz. Ratchet's always been Ratchet, but he's just been Autobot Ratchet. So if you can't call a thing Sludge, why not call it Dinobot Sludge? That's one of the things I didn't understand about some of these things. Or maybe that's not just or maybe the reason like the Ratchet and Jazz thing is it's not that somebody else has a trademark, it's that Ratchet and Jazz and something like that is untrademarkable because it's just like a common word. So but you can trademark Autobot Jazz, Autobot Ratchet. Yeah, Sergeant Cup works. Yeah, you can't. Instead, you can't. Maybe you can't say shrapnel because that's a common word. So why not Decepticon shrapnel instead of calling them scrapnel? Oh, here's some other good ones. Yeah, Streetwise went by Street Star for a bit. Okay. Is Shatterglass Rodimus Prime's skin core in the game? Not that I'm aware of. I mean, if anything, Shatterglass Rodimus Prime is basically Rodimus Unicronus, and he's a whole other bot on the Decepticons. Oh, yeah, Solar Storm Grapple. They just misspelled his name because you couldn't call it Grapple. Yeah. I mean, you could totally pronounce that spelling Grapple, but I think most people usually say it Grapple, just to emphasize the fact that they had to spell it differently. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Ratchet and Clank. That's another potential conflict. Yeah, Trailbaker was Trail Cutter for a while. He's back to Trailbreaker. Yeah, I think it was the Thrilling 30. They had to call him Trail Cutter there for a little bit. And there was a figure release in Transformers Prime. I think he went by Trail Cutter. But notice in, was it Earthrise? I think it was. He was Trailbreaker again. So, yeah, Octane is Octone. Honestly, he's been called Tankor in other media. I would have rather seen them call him Tankor instead of Octone. But that's just me. Autobot shortchange? I didn't notice that one. Motor Master's gone by Motor Breath. Yes, yeah, I actually have a tiny little Motor Master that was Motor Breath. Yep. Oh, that's some good ones. Yeah, yes, Fat Tankor and Tall Tankor, because you had Octane, who they were calling Tankor, but then you also had Tankor from like it was Beast Machines or Machine Wars or something, and they both were like buddies, but they were like both Tankors. But so which Tankor? Well, you had Tall Tankor and you had Fat Tankor. Why'd they call him Fat Tankor instead of just Tall Tankor? And what's the opposite of tall? Short. Just call him short. Why do they call him? Why do they got to call him tall and fat? That's just mean. See, Chase got renamed to Roadburn to avoid confusion with the rescue bots. Okay. They do rename to Autobot Gears. Yeah, okay, yeah, Gears is a pretty common thing. Yeah, it might have worked back in the 80s or something, but as time has gone by, I guess maybe they're getting a little more smart about it, or maybe the trademarks are cracking down a little bit more or something. Who knows? Explain Blades. Yeah, Blades is in the Rescue Bots, but he's also in the Protecto Bots. I mean, can't we come up with a different name for a helicopter bot than Blades? Because like the two helicopter bots in Transformers fiction that are most prominent are both Blades. I guess you got Whirl too. Okay, but still. Hellbat to Fellbat and Kill Bison to Iron Bison. Oh, I can tell you that they just didn't want to put Hell or Kill on toys. That's what that was. Same reason, similar reason for why Slag went to Slug. Although that one was more about people taking offense, but Hellbat and Kill Bison, they just didn't want to put Hell or Kill on a toy. Same reason why you will never see them be referred to as Breast Masters or the Breast Force, because of the reason why you just giggled. So, well, that's true. Cutthroat is in there, so that's a little bit lighter, I guess, because pirates are kind of popular, and you do have like Cutthroat is like the Cutthroat Pirates or whatever. So yeah, it's down that road though. That's a good point. It's down that road. There's that whole thing of '07 Blackout is apparently going to be Vortex. You got around it after using Wind Razor for so long. Oh yeah, the Abominus team in Prime went by Wind Razor or something, didn't they? Yeah, and Sinner Twin was what? It was like Twin Strike, I think they called it, right? Will the Dynaforce team come to the game? Not entirely sure who you mean. Are you talking about like Dino King, the Japanese version over there? Uh, maybe like the same deal as Monstructor. Basically, because they're basically the same kind of deal, but different decos. One was dinos, one was monsters or whatever. Will it come to the game? I'm not going to say no. I mean, they are running out of combiners. They got to go do something. Skull Cruncher. No, but notice they called him Skull Smasher now because why? I don't know. Maybe smashing sounds less intimidating than crunching, or that it was just some weird coincidence that something else was trademarked as Skull Cruncher. I don't know. Yeah, they are working on that. We covered that briefly at the end of the news portion of the stream. I don't have slides available. It was a little much to kind of bring those pictures back up. So, but yeah, those are going to be like alliance bases that they didn't give details, but they basically said like your alliances as all you and your members of the alliance will have tasks that you can do to kind of build up the base. Maybe you can earn some rewards or perks for things. And there will be additional roles to take on other than right now there's just a commander and two officers who really, what do the officers do? They just kind of keep everybody in line, kick people out if they need to start wars. There's not a whole lot to it. So it sounds like there will be additional roles with additional jobs with potentially some additional perks or whatever. So time will tell. But they did show off those bases at the end of the official stream earlier today, and we also got them. I pulled them up in this stream. I don't know, what was it, about 15 or 20 minutes in? from the actual start time, not counting the 10 minutes of difficulties before we got going. And so, yeah, I tend to think of characters by the names that I grew up with. But if you've watched much of my streams or whatever, I always will refer to them by the name of the toy or by the name that they exist in the game, because that is what they are in the game. Even though I might prefer to call some a character by something else, like when Swoop was Strafe. I still get this comment to this day. It was like 5 years ago. I made videos about Swoop, but he was Strafe. And that's, of course I know he's Swoop. Of course I know he's Swoop. And of course I would prefer that he was called Swoop, and I hate calling him Strafe. Of course that's the case. But in the game, he went by Strafe. So when I talked about him, I had to call him Strafe, because people who didn't know him as Swoop would only know him as Strafe. So that's what I called him. To this day, I get comments on these 5-6-year-old videos. His name is Swoop, not Strafe. Dude, look at the date of the video. Look at the text of the character in the video. That's what I'm calling him that. So it's okay. I don't really take offense to it, but it's just I just laugh. So, but that's kind of why I do. Because not everybody's gonna know him by the original name. We know Fellbat and Iron Bison were originally called Hellbat and Kill Bison. There's a lot of people out there who wouldn't know that. To them, Fellbat is Fellbat and has always been Fellbat. So why should I call him anything else? Plus, sometimes if I can't remember the character's name, it's a lot easier just to read it off the screen. Do I watch Bot Bender Orange? Bot Bender Orange. That's not how you spell orange. No, I don't watch that guy, and I wouldn't watch him until he learns how to spell orange. I'm kidding. No, I honestly haven't heard. And I'm just joking about the spelling. If you haven't figured out by now, 95% of the time when I'm appearing to be mad or upset or angry with something, I'm not really upset. I'm playing it up for drama or laughs or something. like the thing about the spelling of orange. Learn how to spell orange. I don't care. It's fine. Have a good one, Grand Galvatron. Thanks for coming. We'll see you around. Do I watch Power Rangers? I have not watched a single episode of Power Rangers. I am aware of Power Rangers, but I don't know a single thing about them. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Cuddy Fox says they called him Strafe to keep the Strafe trademark. They lost Swoop for a while. Now they got two Strafes, one Technobot and one Dinobot and one Swoop. Yeah, that would make sense. Maybe they wanted to keep the Strafe trademark. So that's why they named him Strafe in the Age of Extinction. And in that one, it's interesting because he even had two heads, very similar to the Technobot Strafe. Has kind of like the two tips of the of his jet mode. So I was like, okay, well, I can see why they would do that. And it is so. And by having two heads, it's a completely new character than what Swoop ever was. So I had no problems whatsoever about them calling that particular character Strafe. That's not Swoop. But it's interesting. And yeah, they did lose Swoop for a while. I think it had something to do with Star Wars. Like, I think it was like the Solo movie, because like Emphas Nest, I saw they rode Swoop bikes. So if they hadn't put out a swoop figure in a while, Star Wars swooped in and took the trademark. So I mean, I might be completely wrong, but I did happen to notice there was a toy called a swoop bike, and it turns out that was the thing that Emphas Nest and her gang rode. The new IDW Dinobot Strafe has two heads in Dino mode. You know, I have not read the comics in far too long, so I wasn't even aware that there is a new Dinobot called Strafe with two heads in it. And I would say that was probably inspired by the Age of Extinction movie. Swoop, there it is. Well done. Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Disneyland. Yeah, there's one in Disney World too. I've been there. It's fun. Rise of Resistance is an amazing experience. It's not a ride. There's a whole experience there. I tell you, it's kind of it's no. I don't want to say it's an experience. You shuffle through rooms. It's fantastic. That's all I can say. And like the Smuggler's Run, where you pilot the Millennium Falcon, that's cool too. And I actually got one of those Magic Band Pluses. So you can actually do bounties if you pull up the app in your phone. You can go over to this. Like a kiosk at one point in there. You can scan your badge and it tells you, okay, well, you got to go find this bounty. And what it does is your Magic Band, it'll kind of buzz and light up in a different color, kind of like a kind of hot or cold. Like if somebody says, oh, they want you to go a certain way. It's like, oh, you're getting hotter, you're getting colder, kind of deal. It's that kind of deal. So you walk a certain way, and then it'll kind of change and say, okay, yeah, you're going in the right direction, or no. And then you turn around, now you're going in the right direction. And then you go, and eventually you have to come up to a particular door. And if you're right there, you can hit on the app, and you can scan the door, and it'll show that you've done it. And then you go back over and basically turn in your bounty and get paid. It's actually really cool. It may not sound cool by my description, but it's really cool. Of course, it does require admission to Disneyland or the Hollywood Studios theme park at Disney World, which is not always easy for everybody to do. And honestly, if you're only going there for one day or whatever, doing a bounty, probably not high on the list of things to do. But, I live nearby. I have an annual pass. We go over there. We don't go to the Galaxy's Edge that much, but been there a few times. It's fun. Yeah, see that. Yeah, I actually didn't talk about those because honestly, I'm not really that interested in them. Did you see the new toy from the Transformers movie, Scorponok toy that comes with the other Scorpion? I did see that. I didn't look closely at it because I wasn't super interested in it. Yeah, the whole Buzzworthy Bumblebee line, it's cool and all that, but the problem is because it's Buzzworthy Bumblebee, a lot of these packs, they all have a Bumblebee in it. And I've got so many Bumblebees. I even didn't get the Studio Series 100. Of course, it had to be 100. It had to be a Bumblebee. I didn't even order that one because I just it's just the same as like the other 20 versions of that toy. Yeah. Once someone told me they ruined Swoop and Age of Extinction, I'm sitting there like, that's not Swoop, that's Strafe. Just don't think he's swooping. Exactly. Anybody saying they're ruining a character or whatever, just don't. They're not trying to be the same character that you remember. Just think of it. It's a completely different universe. It's a completely different character. Even if they use the same name, it's a completely different character. It's not even the same. So, you can have John Wayne, Optimus Prime being like a John Wayne father figure in G1, And then you can have Murder Prime in the Bayverse, and it's fine because they're the Give Me Your Face Prime. They're two different characters. They just happen to share the same name and a similar look. So just it's fine. I mean, even Transformers Prime is a whole nother universe. So that's why Wheeljack can be a scientist in one or be a samurai in Prime. It's fine. It's two different universes. It's not the same guy. They just happen to look alike and share the same name. You know. See, Bumblebee has two trademarks. DC Comics also have a Bumblebee. They called Hasbro to see if they could use the name. I wasn't aware of that. Imagine if Hasbro loses the trademark on Bumblebee. That's the end of Hasbro right then and there. They won't ever. Did you ever understand? Even though I'm complaining about there being so many Bumblebees and why I'm just not going to get them, Hasbro never intended for you to get all of these Bumblebees, but they're hoping people do at least buy some of them. But that's why there's a Bumblebee toy out. Like every year, there's at least one. Because if they ever quit making Bumblebee toys, they're going to lose that trademark and they may never get it back. But as long as they keep having a toy out there with the Bumblebee name on it, they will never lose it. So you will always see Bumblebees and Optimus Primes because they are the number one and the number two. And that's what you'll probably see Megatron come out a lot. And that's why sometimes you see him, even if it's just a core class, or maybe it's just whatever. Just that doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It doesn't have to be a Voyager or a Deluxe. It could be a core class. It might be just like a one-step changer. But it's got the name Optimus Prime. It's got the name Bumblebee. It's got the name Megatron. There's a few of them. The ones that you're seeing all the time, it's intentional. They're not trying to flood the market, trying to make you go crazy. They're trying to keep those trademarks from being stolen. Yes, always will see Starscream too. Yes, indeed. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's about going to be it. I do appreciate everybody for coming out and bearing with me for those technical difficulties if you were here at the beginning and sticking it out through all of the Earth Horse talk and the toy news talk and the toy show off talk and the other talk. Anyway, I need to learn how to end these things without rambling on. Anyway, I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and we'll see you next time.